Alright, folks, so I'll now get into chapter 4 of section 2, and there will be new pictures to show you guys because we're getting onto a new place, and I would like you guys to have basic knowledge of where that place is. So, anyways, before that, let me go over to the disclaimer. Yeah, those are the new pictures. Yep, this is a disclaimer, and then let us get back to the original stuff. So there you go. You're gonna be able to see those pictures when you press pause or something. Chapter 4 The Tale of a Dying City. It was well into night when they arrived at the port of Laodicea. It took so long because they were having some troubles locating the city. Apparently, they arrived a bit too north from the city, so they had to follow down the coastline to get there. Therefore, they spent another night on the ship before acquiring the permission to enter it the day after. It doesn't look as majestic as how I have anticipated, said Seth to himself. Thomas tapped on Seth's shoulder. Don't just stand there. Help us out with the captives. Seth grudgingly helped out. Soon, the support infantries led all the captives out. Then, the melee infantries from the combat ships came over to take them, so that the support infantries could take out raided goods. After that, Lord Pericles prepared to deliver the announcement. Attention! He looked around at the soldiers to see if they were focused on him. We finally made it, folks. Therefore, I'm ready to set you guys loose here after we have finished selling captives and merchandise. However, I have certain requirements for many of you to do during your stay here. He cleared his throat and drank some water. Today is Friday, and our departure date from the city will be the Sunday coming after next Friday. Therefore, by each platoon, you all will have 2 necessary days to look after the ships. Currently, we have 4 platoons. Then, we have 9 full days total for our short vacation year. And thankfully, the fortress keepers have agreed to look after the ships for all of today, leaving us 8 days, which divides down to 2 days per platoon, and such days must be consecutive, starting from this coming Saturday and Sunday, which is tomorrow and the day after. And lastly, I need to know which group will take which days and all that. We currently don't have time to be discussing, so we'll dive right into the decisions. So which platoon wants to take their days tomorrow and the day after? Lord Pericles said. Nobody spoke. So Lord Pericles stood awkwardly in such silence, and soldiers were whispering amongst each other and trying to pressure other groups to take the first days. Lord Pericles sighed. Okay, I guess you guys need more time to sort them out. So I'll put a hold onto those days and move over to the next 2 days. Next Monday and Tuesday, which platoon will take them? Silence persisted yet again, so Lord Pericles started looking around in frustration. Commander Kairos raised his hand. My platoon will take them. The support platoon members grunted or muttered out their disapprovals, but accepted their fate, dully. Lord Pericles looked at Commander Kairos. Thank you, Commander Kairos. Your decision is really appreciated. He looked at other soldiers. Now we're finally seeing some decisions being made. So, which group will take next Wednesday and Thursday? Soon, many of the medium melee guys shouted out that they wanted those days. Lord Pericles had a confused expression. Yeah, you're all medium melee guys, but you're separated into 2 different platoons, so which platoon will take those days? Commander Lapidus looked for Commander Lefteris and soon focused his eyes on him. Hey Lefteris, give up, man. Let us take those 2 days. Commander Lefteris flinched. And why do I need to give up? You give up. Commander Lapidus clenched his hands. It's because you and your guys had all the fun back in Seleucia, slaughtering enemies while no one died. Be a gentleman and let us have our days. My guys are agitating to have some fun here as soon as possible. Commander Lefteris spread out his arms. That wasn't fun. That fight was very nerve-wracking. And you could have fun as soon as possible because the fortress keepers will be maintaining the ships today. Commander Lapidus cursed. Shut up! The day's break isn't enough to satisfy me and my soldiers. Okay, how about this? You give up on this one and we get into an argument in the future. about another significant one like this one, then we'll let you guys take it. He sensed some willingness sprouting from Commander Lifters, so he decided to push on. Also, none of your guys died, but many are surely injured, so we feel that it's in you guys' best interest to take the first 2 days of rest, right? He then raised his eyebrows a couple times, hoping for an agreement. Commander Lefteris had a sour expression and looked around at his men. Of course, many of them had some sort of injuries sustained from fighting. Therefore, he sighed and looked back at Commander Lapidus. Yeah, sure. Commander Lapidus chuckled. There you go. He looked at Lord Pericles. That's our answer. Lord Pericles nodded. Okay, so that wraps up everything then. First 2 days, Commander Lefteris' platoon. Second 2 days, Commander Kairos' platoon. Third 2 days, Commander Lapidus' platoon. And finally, last 2 days, my platoon. He looked at his guys and chuckled. Those 2 days were what you guys wanted, right? The heavy melee guys chuckled and nodded. Okay, let's get going then. The announcement was over and everyone started walking along into the city. Hey, Frame, why didn't anyone else try to take the last 2 days? Apasios said. Ephraim glanced at Apasios. You need to understand that even though nobody talks about it, the heavy melee guys get the final say in everything. It's an unofficial rule here. That's why we were all waiting a bit after each choice of days to sense what days the heavy melee guys had in mind. Soon, the soldiers had arrived at the market square and prepared themselves to start selling. The auctioneers were hastily recruited to oversee the auction while the soldiers kept the captives in order. As the time passed, more people were sauntering into the market square looking for things to buy. Some of them arrived at the auction area and were looking around, hoping for interesting events to occur. Suddenly, Commander Kairos approached Thomas. Hey Thomas, some of our auctioneers left us for other merchants who agreed to pay them more. Do you have anyone who can speak Venetian? Thomas nodded. Yeah, Seth does. Commander Kairos sighed in relief. Okay, that's good. Then I'll go talk to him. Thomas suddenly stopped Commander Kairos. But why Venetian? Are we in the Saracen land? Yeah, but many Venetian merchants trade cotton and silk here. Their numbers are great enough so that they even have a consul placed right here in this city for communication with their capital. We believe that they will be the majority of our customers who will buy our captives and raided goods, Commander Kairos said. After that, Commander Kairos approached Seth. Hey Seth, we are in need of the auctioneers who can speak Venetian language, and I've heard that you can. So, would you like to work as an auctioneer for today? Seth sighed. Commander, you know that I don't like going up on the stage. Commander Kairos nodded. Yes, but we don't have anyone else available at the moment. Seth shook his head. Nope, still not happening. I'm not going up on that stage. Commander Kairos sighed. Please, Seth. Everyone wants the vacation, but first we need to sell the captives. You'll be generously compensated. If you help us sell all the captives in excellent profits, then you'll get 10 gold ducats. If you do bare minimum, then you'll get 1 gold ducat. And everything else in the middle for different kinds of performance. Seth started smiling. Now you're talking, Commander. I like it. The middle pay is still much more than a skilled worker's wage for a full day. But sadly, I'm not that much into money these days because I already have a lot piled up. Therefore, I need a little more. Some perks, I would say. Those are not a little more. But anyways, what are those perks that you want? Commander Kairos said. Seth smirked. Let me be free from having to do night watch during our stay at the ships. Then, if there's anyone I want, let me buy one of those captives of my choice for just 1 gold ducat. And lastly, allow me to ride your horse in our fortress during any free time in the future. Commander Kairos flinched and frowned. Seth, I could let you have the other 2 options, but you can't lay your hands on the captives unless you participate as a customer yourself in the auction. There is no way around that. Seth grimaced. Why not? Lord Pericles explicitly stated that all captives must be sold in a rightful manner, which benefits the fortress, which means no discounts. Commander Kairos said, whoa, what kind of rule is that? Man, I worked so hard catching some of them. I need some compensation. So, can't you just give me a free pass this time? Seth said. For a moment, Commander Kairos stared at the ground in frustration. Seth, please stop complaining and obey my suggestion right away for once in your life. Everybody's working hard, giving whatever efforts they can within their limits. Everyone else will still be working today with whatever tasks. If there's no work for some of them, then we'll make them clean the ships, to let you know that you're not the only one being pushed to do something. And we as executives are trying to make things fair for everyone. So please, cooperate with us and help us out by being one of the auctioneers for today. Each platoon needs to provide at least one guy to fully man the auctioning platforms, along with the remaining hired ones that we have at the moment. And I deem it so that you're the one who could maintain good communication with just about anyone, including strangers. That's why I'm asking you to do it. So, could you please heed to my demands? Seth looked at Commander Kairos for a moment. This man was on the verge of exploding in severe anger. Seth surely knew that, even though he was somewhat curious as to how much of an extent the commander's angers would be. He didn't really feel like the time was right for a sudden downfall such as that. Nobody had ever seen Commander Gyros getting angry, nor had they seen him losing patience as much as how he had lost it this time. Furthermore, Seth wasn't a gutsy person, so he decided that agreeing to the commander's demands was the rightful choice at the moment. Also, there were many soldiers lingering around at that time, which meant greater shame on Seth if the commander got angry due to Seth not obeying orders. Seth nodded. Yes, I understand, Commander. I'll do as you asked. Commander Kairos sighed in relief. Thank you for your cooperation, Seth. That makes things much easier now. So I'll see you later. Then the commander went away to give tasks to other soldiers. Sometime later, Ephraim approached Commander Kairos. Hey, Commander, it seems there's a shadow looming around on your face. A big one this time. Something troubling you very much? Commander Kairos shrugged. It's nothing serious. But your underling, Seth, seems quite sluggish today. Ephraim chuckled. Yeah, I get you. It's not so easy these days for the commanders. Then they both looked at each other and chuckled uncomfortably. Thus, Friday went by and the soldiers got into the inns to get washed up and sleep and be ready to have fun the day after. The day after, Thomas and his group members slept a lot, ate a late breakfast, then slowly got out of the inn to tour around the city. They decided to walk straight ahead to the east to see how far the extent of the city was. After a long time of walking, Ephraim pointed at the tall cubical building which appeared into view. I believe that's the Laodicea Tetraporticus, a grand arch made more than a millennium ago. We should go underneath that shade and start our discussions. Alright, so here's when I pause and show you guys the images for real. So anyways, let's go over this picture right here. So this picture shows like the area that I'm talking about. There was Seleucia around this point, if you can see the cursor. So they have sailed out and landed on the northern tip of Cyprus. There's some islands, small islands there. So one of the small islands at the northern tip, northeastern tip, yeah. So after that, they sailed straight to Latakia, but that's that's the port's name right now, Latakia, or the port city's name. But back then it was named Laodicea, because pretty much like all these cities like the Eastern Mediterranean, they were all Greco-Romans. Like the Greeks have settled. Like I mean, if you know like the Kingdom of Seleucia, like it owned Syria and everything right there. And you guys pretty much know about Alexander the Great's conquests. So like it's got all the Greek influence and Laodicea that sounds like Greek. So but now it's Latakia. So anyways, I'm saying so a lot of times right now. Sorry about that. Anyways, right when you see it here. That's where the port city is. So next we're gonna see. Oh, what just happened? Yes, the Laodicea Tetraporticus. This is an actual building in Latakia at this moment. So here's where I go over again. Like some of the places or the cities, like most of them are real, and some of the actual locations will be real as well. Like I have researched many things about this, and it was built by what was that Roman emperor's name? Like he was an emperor at like 200s. And, oh yeah, the Septimus Severus. He built this Laodicea Tetraporticus when he went there for some reason, and then he had it constructed. This is majestic. Like it's a great place for meeting and discussing the medieval way. I love the medieval culture. So I'm gonna keep this up. Like I'm gonna keep this building up here for you guys to take a look at, because like it is just really amazing. Like not gonna lie, it is so amazing. Medieval architectures, the way those people lived and they behaved, it is so like it, that time was full of culture. Like seriously, there was no political correctness. It was full of culture. I just love it back then. All right, so anyways, oh man, there he goes again. So a lot. Yeah, somebody told me about that before. So, oh shoot. Okay, I'm just not gonna talk, and I'm just gonna read. Others nodded in approval, and they all went to the Tetraporticus. Upon arriving, Thomas flinched. It looks like the beggars have made it their encampment. Indeed, there were several beggars residing by the Tetraporticus, so Thomas pulled out his wineskin to do his job. Thomas walked up to the beggars. Move, you filthy rascals! Apparently too tired of life to react, the beggars simply looked at him in blank expressions. Then they went back to dozing around or staring at the ceiling. Ephraim walked up to Thomas. Hey, Thomas, that shouldn't be the way you handle this situation. Allow me to do it instead. Thomas slowly nodded and spoke no more. Ephraim looked back at other members. Hey guys, hand me some of your spare change of coins. He then went around collecting some copper and silver coins that other members gave. After that, he added some of his coins to it and calculated them on his hand to see if those will be enough. When he had deemed that it was of enough amount, he put all of them in a small pouch. Folks, today is your lucky day. Ephraim walked over to the beggars and stood outside of the Tetraporticus. We have already eaten, so it hurts our hearts that you all haven't had anything to eat for today. So, why don't you go to the city and buy yourself something to eat? I believe those will get you a good amount of booze, fish, bread, and fruits to eat for a few days. The beggars became starstruck for a while, but one by one they came out, and a couple of them even bowed to Ephraim. One of them, still kneeling, grasped his hands together in praying stance and looked up at Ephraim. Thank you, sir. We give you our gratitude. Another one looked at other soldiers. May Allah bless all of you for your good deeds. Ephraim nodded. We're just doing our parts as servants of the Lord Almighty. No need to thank us. He then handed the coin pouch to the old man who was sitting down. I believe that you'll be able to share this in the best way. Please take it. Old man received the coin pouch. May Allah's hand never grow short in sending down blessings upon you and your comrades. After a while, all the beggars who were originally occupying the Tetraporticus picked up their baggage, which were underneath the Tetraporticus, and left the area. Ephraim came back and smiled at Thomas. Now, this is how to resolve the issue. Seth nodded. Yeah, Thomas, they can't understand Turkish, and then you have a thick accent too. Thomas grimaced. Hey, Seth, you weren't of much help either. He suddenly looked at Ephraim. But say, I never knew you were that good at speaking Saracen language. Ephraim chuckled. A wise man shouldn't get himself down to such pitiful levels in which he isn't able to get a simple conversation going with his mother's tongue. Thomas slowly nodded. Okay, that's cool. Andel chuckled. That's my officer Ephraim. With another day comes another lesson. Apacios flinched. Hey Ephraim, so your mother is a Saracen? Yeah, you didn't know that? I thought I told you. Ephraim looked around. There were some civilians walking around, going about their own business. Whatever. Let's stop our small talk for now. We need to utilize this place as soon as possible because before some other group takes it over. Alright, so I'm gonna pause here. No, I'm gonna end it here. My tongue is lagging or acting up on its own. So I'll see you guys in the next video then. See you.